Hey yo, what up, though? It's your boy the Wolf, man. Coming at you in the new year, man. First episode of the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. What up, though, Don? What's good?
What's going on? What's going on?
Not much, man. I'm glad to make it in the new year, man. Glad to be surrounded by the people I love and glad to have another opportunity to be successful, bro. I'm starting off the good foot, man, and it has been a blast off since the first, man. All kind of stories popping off to be covered, so many things going on in the news, bro. So we're gonna take it back and have a hot topics day and just do a little couple of reactions to talk about everything that's been going on while we off air. You feel me? You rocking with me, my dog?
Let's get it.
All right. So first up, the cat effect, my baby. Everybody talking about the biggest interview that happened. Um, Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's making memes about it. Everybody's fact checking everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw it to you, Don. What kind of stood out from the episode for you,
I ain't
personally?
even gonna hold you. I ain't even watched the whole thing. Just from the little
It's
bits
3
and
hours.
pieces. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I couldn't sit and watch. I ain't even. I'm gonna try to do it, but I ain't did it yet. Just to sit and watch the entire thing. But we touched on it a little bit on Jungle Juice podcast, and pretty much what we got out the whole thing is this is gonna be the year of the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is coming to the light this year. Mark our words.
For sure. I feel like it's one of them year where stuff people is not accepting lies no more. You feel me? I think that's the difference because the
Yeah.
truth always been there. These are old stories and old facts, and like I've been hearing, we've all heard these rumors and just are confirming them with each other in different circles, and they just being confirmed in the public for the first time. But I think these are narratives that's been kind of circling for a long time. People are just not willing to stomach the lie.
Right.
I don't think it's comfortable just putting on the blinders and accepting that little sugary coated pill no more.
Right.
I think people is over that. They don't care how much sugar you put on the medicine. They not taking it no more.
Exactly.
Because I feel like just a lot of stuff Cat Williams was talking about has always been an overhanging theme of kind of Hollywood, right? The casting couch type of situations, the racial narrative, the disparaging pay divide between males and
Right.
women, black males and white females and black females, all these different kind of dynamics they've been talked about, right? It's just each story has become more credible because this is the age of information. And I think we lived so long on the internet now that the old internet is coming back to haunt us.
Right. Okay. What
You
you
feel
what you
me?
mean by that? Break it down a little bit more.
All right, so like hip hop is like 50 years
Yep,
old, right?
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now it has like age groups and genres of
Yep,
hip hop that we done grew through. I think this is the first generation like of the internet. Like the internet started with me. Like I'm one of those like Xennials in between the Generation X and between
Gotcha.
whatever. We were the first kids. We were the last generation, like that 1986 group that was born before the internet. So you kind of know you straddle that fence of generations
Right.
because you grew up with
Both.
it, but you grew up during the development
Right.
of it. And we're finally getting to that age as adults where the things we were doing in the birth of the internet, that we were just out there free with no bounds, saying wild shit, experimenting, doing cringy ass shit, wearing shit that we would never want to see. We are now seeing the effects that they've been telling us was going to happen from the internet, right?
Okay.
All of that shit where you did some wild shit, you made a random page and you just moved away from it,
Yep.
now can be dug up and held up in your face. And I mean, like, if all of us seen wild shit from our teenage days that we did, it would be cringeworthy,
Yeah.
cancel worthy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of creepy stuff as a young adult of any kind going through stuff. So I feel like all the wild shit we did in those Girls Gone Wild videos, like the Freaknik video, them is barely touching probably the iceberg of the shit that was really going on because all they had was VHS.
Right.
We've been living for about, like, cell phones with videos are on cameras on them are about 20 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So there's 20 years of old footage of us not being cognizant of how much this shit was gonna haunt us in the future.
Yeah, and we kind of touched on this on Jungle Juice too, because we I don't want to skip your topic, but we was talking about the Tamara Green, her daughter.
Yeah.
You saw the video?
No, I didn't.
Well, she kind of was touching on shit that happened back in the day, and we were just basically saying, damn, if TikTok, Instagram, and all of that shit was out back then, when that Kwame shit was going on, just imagine how much shit would have been out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I ain't
yeah,
gonna
I
hold
see
you,
what
dude.
you're
Probably
saying
would have
now.
still been.
I thought you meant like it was something new about it. Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, a lot of shit would have been to the light already.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Even just between the conversations people have
Right.
of the hearsay, especially if you are in the law enforcement or working for the city and you privy to more information than the normal person has. You know what I'm saying? Those community talks. Somebody would have been leaked it.
Oh yeah.
Somebody would have been leaked it because
yeah.
we can't help ourselves. We were compulsively living online.
Because back then, I feel like that shit was just word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? You just, I heard this, you know what I'm saying, from such and such. I don't know if it's true, but.
And that's why I say the Cat Williams effect is kind of necessary. Like, I'm not going to move into, like, what's true and what's not true, right? Because there's not a lot of ways to prove all of the intimate details unless you was there, right? But, like, certain things was. Like, I still... That didn't look like a 4 to be, you know what I'm saying? But if it was, you know what I'm saying? My man just held up a phone, just being devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the real time. I don't know just by looking how fast he could run. They did say he was registered as a genius with Mensa since he was 10. If you homeless and you ain't going to school and you reading to stay warm in the library, you probably can read 3,000 books in a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you just choosing it and you're not following a curriculum and you're educating yourself. And you know what I'm saying? There's all kind of savants and stuff out there. So all of the stories kind of been fact checked, but you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fig Munity and them. Smack said they showed them the rock they self and watched them zoot up. So like I've had brilliant family members that were crackheads that was amazingly talented and stuff too, and told amazing truths. You know what I'm saying? And I think my only thing, criticism is a great point that was made by the comedian Corey Holcomb was live your truth if you're going to tell on everybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My grandparents used to say don't sweep in front of nobody else's porch until you swept in front of your own. Right? So if you out here telling these truths, tell the truths about yourself, not just the stuff that make you look good. Not just the stuff that you want people to know.
There you go.
Tell your raw, unfiltered truth, the good and the bad, so we can get the whole picture and understand. If your goal is to really educate us and show us what you're going through. But he's uprooting things. He's creating great movements. He's breaking the internet.
Yep.
One of the good things that I would like to just say, like the ripples from the effect, more than just looking at the conflict that everybody's looking at, whether he's telling the truth about these people or not.
Right.
It's important that he said it because of the effect that it had on the community around it.
Right.
People are starting to think about intellectual property in a different way. People are starting to finally give credit to the work that comedians put into their craft and hold people accountable for stealing it, because people are becoming aware of that atmosphere that people could get away with for so long. That's important, whether it's cap or not. How about Shannon Sharp, who is a African-American sportscaster and is blowing the numbers away? And you know what I'm saying? He don't be cooning, bro. He don't.
Yeah.
And you might not agree with everything that Shannon has to say or the way he develops it, but you don't feel like he is not for the culture.
Right.
And for somebody to be able to blow up independently without ESPN, without any of that, on a platform that he owns because of Cat's contribution is dope as fuck for the ecosystem. Then he just went on another podcast that I feel like we always talking about culture vultures and people that we don't support. He just went over there to Willie D, and they podcast took a big hit, and us as fans in the community had to watch two of our uncles break apart because of differences in that, and we lost a great source of information and a verified source of voice for our community, and that platform kind of went down just a little bit, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
because we was hurt in the mix of everything that went down. But I think we very much want to see it come back, and even if it's only Willie D over there, for Cat to come over there and get them 1 million views because of the content and to raise that platform up and stuff is another great effect on the ecosystem, whether what he's saying is cap or not.
Right.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, got you.
You know what I'm saying? So like those type of things I think is dope. I think people are yearning to hear the truth and honesty from people. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what else I got in the notes about the because I wanted to say a few more things about the thing, the cause and effect of what he said. Everybody has responded. What do you think after all that information is out there? You think the effect on the community of comedians is now? What do you think that is just changes, or is it just a lot of loud noise that's gonna go away?
I feel like it's gonna eventually go away because deep down, like you said earlier, everybody kind of already knew this shit, and it's like I feel like people still gonna do what they're gonna do regardless. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's gonna really. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna really play out like everybody think it's gonna play out. I think it's just gonna fall to the wayside and everything gonna be like how it was.
How you feel about the move of putting his ex-wife on tour?
Petty,
Super
petty, and smart.
Mm-hmm.
Petty and smart. You know what I'm saying? And then with Kevin, even with his response, he played it smart because you don't ever see Kevin Hart out of character. You know what I mean? He has this
He's
persona
very controlled.
as the nice guy. He's always you never see him angry. I ain't never seen him angry besides if he playing a role or something.
That's how I know that nigga crazy.
Okay.
Cause he's very meticulous, he's very driven, he's very ambitious, he's very positive, and he's very controlled. That means as soon as that nigga turn that switch, he going full throttle the other way too on your ass.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see it.
And that's why he's like, yeah, I can see him like, you know what, I want everybody to do good. As soon as that car door is shut and they drive away from TMZ, I'm gonna kill this motherfucking cat. You don't even know. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
That nigga is gonna go dumb on him, bro.
I can see it.
And I think that's because he understands how people perceives him. And people that understand how they are perceived and how others people perceive them are more dangerous because they are less about projecting something and hoping that you receive it the same way. They understand how to manipulate your perception.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So he's the type of motherfucker that do something to get away with it. Just because he just smart. And I don't know what he done did, but Kevin just seemed like a very thoughtful person. Like that television show on Netflix where Wesley Snipes played his brother, that shit was brilliant. That shit was brilliant. I could really see that nigga snapping and killing somebody with a little short, strong ass. You feel me? So I feel like it is a genius way to promote. I think it's a bad move and a bad decision long term for Kevin's ex.
Yeah.
I think this is a very short stint in the limelight. I don't think this is genuinely an opportunity that her talent warrants.
No, not at all.
And I think that if she does have real talent, it's going to stunt that growth. I do feel like even more than that, it's going to fuck up your relationship with your kids and your pops. And the nigga got enough to take care of you the right way.
Yeah, but I feel like she know that. She know that.
Yeah,
Deep down
I feel like
inside,
that's a woman scoring move.
She know that. She know that because if ain't nothing going on now, and now all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, they just want to pull you on tour. You know it's a petty move. She know that.
And I'll never not see the little niggas with the daddy. So like, what are you really? You out there? You be done pop that pussy on a new rich nigga by now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't really got to do that, dog. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta bed down with my ops. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to do this, I don't think that. I think they could have worked it out in a better way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because now she done put herself in a hole.
It did. I just think that's something I would have turned that opportunity respectfully
Yeah,
down. You know what I'm saying? Even if Cat did come at you, it's still your job.
yeah. It's your decision.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like that was a bad look for her.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm gonna move on to the next topic, bro. Another thing I saw kind of transitioning to that, something Cat touched on too, so it'll be an easy kind of sway. Let's talk about that casting couch thing, bro,
Hmm.
because this is the whole Diddy situation,
Yeah.
right? Is coming out, and I want to be like careful about how I approach it because I don't know if the allegations is true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what I do know is you don't hear a lot of dudes coming out. Like when Cosby and all of them
Hmm.
and all the allegations start
Hmm.
pouring out, the women always come out.
Hmm.
And I feel like until I see the dudes coming out and saying stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'll be ready to flip. Because half of me feel like these are stories that we kind of heard about Diddy and things that went on in the atmosphere.
Right.
And I feel like that because of how we view our actions now, it's real easy to get people emotionally riled up by pulling up old things that we did.
Right.
Right. And now, like I was saying, that footage is out there that has like wine aged just enough to come back and fuck you up. It
Right.
ain't too old to where niggas don't remember, but it's just old enough to be fucked up
Yep.
and socially unacceptable for the shit we do now. And bringing that shit back up on people is going to lose a lot of motherfucking careers just straight up. You know what I'm saying? The Vlad, Aaron Hall interviews.
Hmm.
I remember watching that shit as a kid and stuff with Bishop Don Juan and all of them. But the fact that he was on the show talking to a pimp about the shit they did, like, how you think something that sound right
Yeah.
gonna come out of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily know that he was. Well, it was statutory because she wasn't old enough.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he told on himself on that. But I don't know as far as did he do that necessarily mean he slept with an underage person or
Right.
something like that. I don't think they could prove it. I think that he has dodged so many more things that if he does go down for something sexual, it has to be like somebody pushed the button on him like it's time.
Right. Okay.
Because my nigga has got away with so many bodies, allegedly.
Allegedly. Right.
You feel me? That to go down behind a booty party is like how you hide the body right and pay all these niggas off, and you got CAT scans when you beat bitches and all this shit come off, but you gonna get caught because of a freak off. That the only way to know the freak off happened is if somebody you was freaking off and was there with told.
Hmm.
So anybody involved is a nigga that be doing that kind of shit,
Right.
which makes you fucked up
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you invited to the fucked up nigga party.
Right.
So you can't trust none of that.
Yeah.
You feel me? You can't trust no nigga like you. You was at the fucked up people doing the fucked up people shit, and now you got all the fucked up people information. How you get out with it, and how you even get invited in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that part is kind of like it's a lot of information coming out, but ain't nobody asking how these niggas got these stories.
Hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah. That's the question they need to be asked.
Because if you was in Diddy party and I don't got no gay stories. You know why? Because respectfully, I'm not. I think that gay men see me and go like, I'm not attracted to that. That's on the other side.
Hmm.
That's not what this guy is interested in.
Right.
And they just respectfully never advance at me, and I don't never really have to worry about that experience.
Right.
I believe that's because it's not what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
I feel like if you giving off the vibes that you might be down with that, you're gonna get invited to the party.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
I never get those invites. You feel me?
Hmm.
I've gotten some weird invites that you don't be looking for, but usually you be in an environment you like, oh, immediately red flag. This is where my boundaries are, and I don't belong here. You feel me? So you get the fuck on out the room. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? If you there long enough to see a gay story happen, you a character in it,
Yeah.
nigga. You part of the
You a feature.
story.
You a feature.
You a part of the story, bro. And there's no offense to anybody that's doing nothing, but like if you a cokehead, you around them. I don't know no cokeheads for real, because I'm gonna blow they high, cause I'm gonna be the only nigga not
Right.
on they level. I'm gonna be on the weed head
Yeah.
nigga level,
Got you.
blowing they high while they trying to do they thing. So they gonna go off. You feel me? If you don't party with them kind of people, you're not invited. So if you constantly being invited to these kind of parties, what kind of person are you? Why do you have this information? Why did you hold it for so long?
Mm-hmm.
I think we gotta start looking at that, because if you knew about all of these atrocities and you held on to them until it benefited you,
How that make you look?
aren't you an arbitrator of the crime too, my nigga?
Yep. I feel like if we do that, that's gonna uncover so much more stuff.
You feel me? Because it's like, even with the R. Kelly situation or whatever is going on, if I raped a person and then threw him out my room, and then this person was visibly battered and accosted, and you cleaned her up, put her in the car, and then sent her home, aren't you now a part of that crime?
You a feature.
You feel me? So all of these, like, I seen it happen stories for the money now coming
Mm-hmm.
up, as much as I might feel like Diddy is super suspect, I feel like, just as a black man in America, why is it so convenient for all of this evidence to be just so available to us now?
All right. I got you.
They'll make a case when it's time for you, when they can't catch you and they just decide it's time for you. You got enough stuff that they want to take from you. You feel me? But on the other hand,
It could be.
I feel like Diddy did it.
Yeah, I
feel
mean,
me?
allegedly, you know what I'm saying?
Allegedly.
But it could be, on the other hand, where, it could be some type of extortion going on.
You feel me? That's
You know
how
what
I
I'm saying?
feel.
He could have been providing something where he couldn't provide it no more.
Mm-hmm.
And now the evidence was there.
Mm-hmm.
We already had it ready. We was just waiting on the day.
Mm-hmm.
And the day is coming.
That's what I feel. Because, like, the fact that they are possibly charging him with Tupac's death, we've been saying,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I feel like, personally, allegedly, if I was going to make up the story and say how it happened, I think that he got into the beef, it happened and it sparked off. My man saw opportunity, because I'm about to kill him anyway, to make some bread.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Hey, you want him gone? Because I'm about it. Might as well make a bag. I'm about to blow him. Yeah, you about to do that? You can make that happen? Go ahead and do it. Dum Dum did it. I ain't sending them no money, so it look like I paid them to do that. And I feel like that's how it went. You
I can
feel
see
me?
that. I can see that.
I feel like he got finessed up out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's exactly how it went.
Yeah, that's fucked up, but yeah, I can see that.
That's how I feel like it went. Because he was going to do it on some ego shit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, shoot, I always feel like with the stuff coming out, man, I don't want to make it to where people can't be a whistleblower and tell the truth and stuff, but I do feel like we got to start fact checking. We do have to look at why people are woofing so hard and what they get out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And shit, that's about it, bro. We got a few more hot topics, and we also got some text message adventures we gonna bring to y'all this new episode. Something new for the new year, man. Sharing some thoughts and messages from the followers and the supporters in my text messages, and we gonna figure it out together. So after this break, me and DJ Don will be back with a few more topics, man. Peace out. Yo, what up, though? It's your boy Big Rick the Wolf, my baby. We back. Hey, what up, though, DJ Don?
That's good.
Hey, we doing another hot topic episode, man, and we chilling, going through the topics, man. We was just talking about the cat effect that it had. That big episode. We moved on to talking about the Diddy do it a Diddy. Now, when we moved on past that, man, now we talking about the hot topic about people not getting their money right. You know what I'm saying? That's another topic that's been going on since Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Diddy in the hot seat for a lot of that. I don't know nobody who ever left Diddy paid or alive and paid. I feel like he always retains the money. He kind of sheds acts like a new skin
Mm-hmm.
and reinvents itself like Madonna or something, but through somebody else. And he attaches himself to a new act, and he always stays relevant. And I think it's a part of his genius of what he does and how he can see a talent, have an idea, see something in somebody, and put them together. I think is a part of his talent. But I also feel like that's kind of why people get taken advantage of as well. You know what I'm saying? Like my man, Day 26, all them guys. I think
I
what's
forgot about them, man.
you know what I'm saying? What's that group? The band. The guy Ness was just in the interview saying that he was not well liked by the other members because he was bringing bad deals to them where it was like you owned even more than their publishing or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, he was already signed as an artist before he was ever discovered on the band.
Right.
So because he was through a company, he had a buffer lawyer between him
Gotcha.
and the monster business of Bad Boy Records, because they wanted to take their publishing as writers away immediately, and they were going to be writing all their songs as part of the challenges and stuff. So why would it? We say it's written by a bad boy and something like that.
Right.
So they said like after the check was broken down, they had $7,500 to break up.
That's crazy.
$7,500 to break up between how many people was in the band? What Chopper, the Chopper dude, Babs.
It was
It,
like 5 or 6.
it was the light skinned singer R&B chick. What was her name?
Yep.
Erica or something. Then it was Ness. Then it was like a country dude,
I can't
Fred
remember.
or something,
I
right?
can't even remember.
And Dyline.
So it was 6.
So it was like 6 people.
Yeah.
$7,500 between 6 people. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is like this is I was just harkening back to what I was saying earlier. These is old stories in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they're trying to make it seem like something's going on in the black Hollywood community.
Right.
Black Hollywood ain't doing nothing different than Hollywood does. Because these are the practices of Hollywood, for one, right?
Yep.
So we're not going to make it seem like black people just doing black people wrong. We just messing over. When you rich enough to get that high up,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is the nature of the business. So you can't be in a dog eat dog world and not be a dog. You feel me? You gonna have to grow some teeth and get up in there to make these business deals happen. And if some of them happen because you have to have dirt on somebody, you're gonna start acquiring information and dirt on people to make things move around and happen.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Which brings me to a very polarizing character, because I think in the community, especially with older black women and the new generation, is starting to change, my age and younger, on how we view Oprah, right? Oprah, to my mom, my grandma, my aunties, can't do no wrong.
Right.
She is the epitome of a black positive woman.
Black Queen.
She's a black queen, right? Young black girls say this bitch is cap. She ain't never been for us, ain't for us. She poverty pimping, and they simping and don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, with everything that's going on, you can make questions about the Africa stuff, the schools, and the money and the giveaways on the shows. On the other hand, niggas need schools in Chicago. It's probably dirt cheap with the dollar to transfer that money over to Africa to build a little basic building that don't need a lot.
Yeah.
Irrigated with some water and some, probably don't need gas because the temperature is so nice over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And run some electricity, change the community by giving them a water source and some electricity in a rural area where it's probably too far to travel to a real place, and they make it seem like they doing something, and they probably run that whole school off of $3,500 a year.
And now you looked at
You know what I'm saying?
as a queen.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying not to downplay those people's lives
Yeah,
and what they
yeah,
doing for them.
not
but
at all.
you know what I'm saying? It's you've been in Chicago for years. You know what I'm saying? Not to say you ain't did nothing to send these kids to college and stuff, but I feel like that's a narrative. A lot of people go to third world countries or they go over to Africa, so you can't see the effects of what they doing.
I mean, but what has she done for
That's too. I think people's
African
success.
American? You know,
I think that's a romanticism of us as a community too. We revel in one of our success, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which there's nothing wrong with celebrating each other,
right?
but it's like we almost feel a false ownership over other people's success to where it satisfies us,
Okay.
right? Because Oprah exists and it's this woman who looks like me who is accepted by them, I have made it. She don't actually have to do shit for you,
Right.
but exist. And it seemed like she did something virtuous just by achieving something for themselves and looking like you.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you, because I represent you, because I look like you, my success that I'm not sharing with you is ours.
Right.
So you should be satisfied. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where you are, and then it's like that gets conflated into this person is for these people.
Mm-hmm.
But you are, if you are, why you not paying them?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't hear, the only time I hear people complain about Tyler Perry not paying them well is when he's connected to you. So I don't really know if I can hold him accountable to that, because if outside of the Will Packard and Oprah conversation, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they say you be pumping on people too. So I don't really know how credible those are, because those are like bedroom stories.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody who really complains about the business of Tyler Perry outside of the ecosystem of his business deals with Oprah.
Yeah.
Which leads back to Oprah. You feel me? Taraji P. Henson. Listen. Last week we talked, well, not last week, but the last time we was together, we was talking about whether or not 50 Cent was a bad guy.
Right.
Right? Ha, ha, ha. It's hard to be the good guy because sometimes you look like the bad guy. Because my nigga out here, everybody always call him a bully.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But he don't never fuck with people but the people who need to be fucked with, bro. And the people say he a bully. That Empire show was some bullshit. That Empire show was some dog and pony shit that they knew y'all was gonna like. That was every stereotype of us that was made by the others and given to us.
Yep.
And now the only thing standing running the whole station that can't get a white show to say they goddamn life is Stars, because it's built off the back of Big Old 50.
Yep.
And now the only man willing to pay you what you feel like you worth is the villain. The one y'all love to call the villain.
Right.
Right? So was he really addressing and building something for ours? So now there is a place for her to come and be appreciated. She was the main one mad. Like, you attacking, sometimes we be defending shit that don't need to be defended because it's an opportunity and we so scared of losing opportunities.
Right.
But now there's a place for you to go where, just like Mary J. Blige got fucked over by all them people, another product of Diddy.
Yeah.
Diddy deals. Then you go over to 50 and you get treated fair.
Life's good.
That's all the nigga really got to do is just treat you fair. Motherfuckers don't be asking for extra.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's just a decent ass nigga. I don't really see nobody get taken advantage of. I see him go find people that we champion within our culture, and he lift them up to where their financial status matches their social status in our eyes.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, I don't think, can go anywhere and not be seen as a queen because of her talent and her accomplishments. Right? But she was in a position where her finances had her doing shit that I feel like I'm not gonna judge, but was beneath her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because bills got to be paid.
Yeah.
And she got taken advantage of through no fault of her own, you know what I'm saying? Through some bad business deals. Mm-hmm. But Diddy is a nigga that came up with you from the dirt that's supposed to be somebody who does have the business sense. And if you part of my team, if you don't know, I'm going to teach you, put you in a position where you're protected or give you a deal that I know is fair.
Right.
I don't feel like he do that.
No.
And they say, well, that's just business. You should have known. That sound like the way the others work. You decide who the others is, but that's what I'm saying. That don't sound like our culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like Oprah and these people that's been around.
Some motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You'll come across that because you know dealing with our people how it gets sometimes.
That too, bro. And you know what? You right, man. I'm glad you called me out on that too, bro. Because that's one thing this year is really about the energy in the person, right? Because we put ourselves in these narratives and these things where I do recognize our culture is certain things is different, you feel me? But you got to be open to having experiences with anybody because there's people of your own kind that'll do. I ain't never been done more dirtier than by a nigga that look like me.
There you go.
You feel me? At the end of the day, I understand the narrative and I understand history, but proximity is a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. You can only be hurt by the motherfuckers that's around you.
It's true.
I'm always been immersed in my own culture and my own people. Been fucked over a lot. You know what I'm saying? So another thing too is race might not exist. You feel me? But it ain't the only thing that exists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't get so caught up in that narrative that it prevents you from doing other things and shit too. But I will say, motherfuckers use it as a flag to get you to fuck with them. So I'm going to hold you accountable for it too. Mm-hmm. Because you telling me to come fuck with you because you look like me. You telling me to come fuck with you because you represent me. Mm-hmm. You telling me that I should fuck with you and not the others because you are me.
Right.
Right? So do me fair. Because you know you going to cry that we don't get done fair by the others.
Yep.
So don't be like, come over here and then be like, well, shit, nigga, you gave them a chance to fuck you over. It's my turn. Mm-hmm. Nah, bruh. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it be feeling. And that shit is bold. That shit ain't right.
That's because the motherfucker always got to think they got one over on you and that they smarter than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They already, in their mind, like you said, about to get over on them. So I already know in my mind, like, yeah, you know, I already got my plans in place. I already know how I'm going to play this dude. I'm going to do this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You see that in regular everyday life. Not even with nothing on a large scale such as that. Even with your everyday life, you will see that. Leaving here, leaving the podcast, you know what I'm saying? We could both run into that leaving, going to the creek.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stopping somewhere.
Facts. Because I ain't going to lie, one of the things I learned faster in Cali is everybody ain't from there and everybody trying to survive.
Right.
So the most poindexterous looking ass motherfucker, clean cut than a motherfucker that look harmless, this nigga you might be big as hell. This motherfucker 110 pounds. That nigga not scared of you. He just playing his role and trying to figure out where he can chisel off of your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because he in survival mode too. And I think being, from the Midwest, I ain't going to say who's certain, but it is places where you can kind of read a person socially, engage what you need to be aware of, kind of expect what they capable of.
Right.
And I feel like as you begin to travel and move around, New York and Cali is one of them places where you cannot look at a person and gauge what they capable of.
Right.
Because there's so many of them congested, so tight together, and everybody in survival mode because everybody been sold this image of why they need to be there. So the people that's not from California is sketchier than the motherfuckers that actually be from California. Motherfuckers that come out there with hopes and dreams and shit. Mm-hmm. When you bump into them, motherfucker, I was at a dispensary and I looked away for 1 second. And while my man was taking the bud from the jar in the scale, I still to this day don't know how. And I was watching them because as I was watching them, my friend from Cali was telling me how you gotta watch him.
That's crazy.
You feel me? He still got shaved off a gram off the bag.
That's crazy.
When we got home and waited, he waited up in front of us, and I seen it, saw him tear it off. I was like, he got off on us just a little, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
think about 1 gram per customer
Right. Exactly.
all day. You know what I'm saying? You looking at him like, oh, this guy ain't gonna try me because he, little or something like that. They be in that survival mode at all times, willing to do some crazy shit. It just be like that. Let me see what I got in my notes right here, because this has been a bunch of shit. I want to talk about too with the one more thing about the Oprah thing too, bro. Like, not to go, because I got a little personal thing about her, because I never liked the color purple.
Okay.
It was funny to me.
Yeah,
It just came
I'm not
out.
a fan of it.
Right? I'm not. And I understand it's funny. It's kind of a cultural thing in the moment. But it was a lot of black dudes that didn't like it. It was a lot of socially conscious people that came out against the movie back then too.
Okay.
But it was a still Steven Spielberg movie. It was the era that it was in, and it was looked at as a good thing. But ain't shit good about the movie Color Purple. If you a black man, why would I want to go see the worst reflection of myself in every movie? You know what I'm saying? Nothing about that movie. And if you think about when it came out in the 90s, the original one,
Yeah.
that was like the birth of black families in the early 90s and late 80s starting to split apart, right? The whole single mama era came, the baby mama, baby father terms was birthed into the American lexicon. The whole separation of sexes was really driven. The whole independent woman and working woman started to be a driving narrative as well, bro. Every woman that's in The Color Purple suffered horrible atrocities at the hand of a black dude. All of her pain and suffering was handed to her down because of the black man. And every time there was, the very few times, mind you, this is like still like just post-slavery America.
Right.
During like the Great Depression era set in this time, right? Early 1910s, 1920s.
Right.
Not a great time for niggas.
No, not at all.
How can we be our greatest villains of the movie at that time? With no decent black dudes in the community. All of them was pedophiles and rapists and womanizers and alcoholics, or completely mentally weak or unstable to protect the woman in their life. And if some kind of viciousness did come from a white person in the movie, the male that was there was completely powerless and unable to protect them in any kind of way that would validate them as a male in any kind of positive way in that movie. The only love that is shared is between the alcoholic prostitute jazz singer who's there with a married man cheating on him with her ex, probably swinging because he was there the whole time, right? So they was what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And if he was a pedophile and married her underage and was having sex with her, and you was going with her too, you still an adulterer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She got like 5, 6 kids. And then you came and left with her. And then y'all all end up, you, Sophia, can't stand a man or whatever. When he was nice to you and gave you everything you wanted, you ran over him and never listened to him. His dad convinced him that he needs to show you how to be forceful and gave him a toxic image of what a man need to do. And he came and hit you. So you beat him up. And then let the white woman smack you down and break your spirit. You feel me? And then you was mad that he had a light-skinned woman, and the light-skinned woman was colorist and hateful and ignorant. You know what I'm saying? So you replaced her with a horrible woman. The father was a rapist and beat him and horrible and ignorant. There was now the father, her father died on top of a woman that he was still having sex with, young women and having babies that he wasn't taking care of, and all kind of incest. Like, there was not one positive male in the whole. The father didn't touch nobody, but was mean and wouldn't accept sugar because of whatever reason, right? And he was just a family man who probably just didn't want one of his daughters to be a hoe, but they made him look evil. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be in a joint. You an alcoholic and you living with a married man while you having sex with his wife. Probably wouldn't be accepted by a lot of
Yeah.
preachers in the
Right.
1920s, right? But he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy who withheld love from his daughter, which is why she's screwed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what black male, if I'm a black male, what's my motivation to go see this movie?
It's not one.
You did? That's how I feel.
Unless you one of the motherfuckers you just said, it's not one.
You did? Like, it ain't nothing. And then they end up together in the store wearing pants together. So, back in the 90s, they couldn't just come out and tell us these was like LGBTQ movies and stuff. Because, like, we ain't realized, I ain't realized as a kid, Interview with the Vampire was just two gay dudes loving each other as vampires. I ain't really get that until I was older. Then I went back and watched it. I was like, hey, man, why are they staring at each other so long? You feel me? So, like, when you go back and you see these movies, which there's nothing wrong with that, but there's nothing promoting black family in that film.
Right.
Black family and the strength of the black family is never a solution to any of the problems, and it never is healed by a male and a female coming back together and rectifying. The best that happened was Harpo finally told him where to find her family that he's the one that ripped away from her.
Yeah.
And literally, it was a selfish act because you just wanted the curse to be lifted after you lost all the money, everything, and everyone. And you finally wanted relief from what you perceived to be a curse on you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you still is a selfish, unkind person to the day you die.
There you go.
So, like, for me, Color Purple is a uninteresting narrative. I think there's so many other black stories that could be made, but it's something that's gonna get black women in the LGBTQ community up and going.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's an easy, lowbrow way to get our money and our support without actually giving us any new content. And I feel like there are dope ass writers like Issa Rae making all kind of dope ass modern stories that aren't sad and downtrodden, that gives us an honest depiction of the balance between sexes and the modern issues that we deal with, where we ain't gotta pretend that Harpo still beating us and that's the reason my life ain't right. Like, I'm tired of that old ass bitch ass narrative.
That's what we need. That's what we need. We need that in general, because everything is being recycled at this point.
Yeah.
Not even with the movies and the shows and everything, just with music. With music alone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's been going on, with music being recycled.
Yeah.
Everything is being recycled, man. So it's time to open up a new can of worms.
That's why I feel like it's bullshit, because I know she couldn't wait to get this movie from Spielberg. So she was like, I know he made a check off of it, and I'm the one that made it famous. I want my chance to get paid off this shit.
Yeah.
So, you could take it, but fine. All right, cool. A white dude made the story that was a black narrative, and all the black actors made it one of the most iconic movies of all time. We should be able to get paid for it. I can get behind that narrative. Why the fuck is the actors in your movie and you a black woman and it's your turn to do us right still crying? Because they're not being treated fair. Now they don't feel like you're doing this for us.
Right.
Now you feel like it's just my time to get paid. I'm going to get this shit on, and but you pimping our sympathy. You pimping our emotions to get a reaction.
Yeah.
Because, all the black women gonna want to go see this together, and they all the aunties and the sisters are dressing up, wearing purple to go feel this emotional high that women triumphed over something. But why is your enemy always the nigga that you supposed to lay down next to at night?
Right.
When they telling the story.
But if Oprah was to ever come out, and say that she had her own agenda, you know what I'm saying?
The only worst movie for black man in this, to me, is that motherfucking movie. What's that shit where they dropped the motherfucking baby out the window? It was one of them Oprah Tyler Perry ass movies.
Oh, yeah,
where they did the different short stories or something. It was a black girl cry or some fucked up depressing ass shit. I know you know what I'm talking about too.
I don't fuck with the movies.
Cause it was the nigga with the green eyes that played like a nigga from the army, and he was fucked up in the head or something. But he killed the bitch kids, bro. It was one of the most fucking saddest shit I ever seen on film. But it was like just different stories of black women's lives, and none of them was good, bro.
Yeah.
None of them was fucking good, but all I know so many black women that get tied up to it. Story for colored girls or some shit like that, right?
That title sound familiar,
Man,
but I
I'm
don't be
not the
watching that
best.
kind of shit,
Man,
man.
I don't, but I got a lot of aunties, so I have to lose the movie vote
Yeah.
sometimes. You feel me? When you watching shit as a family. But I remember one of my aunties, I ain't gonna put nobody's name, well, I got like 30 aunties, but one of them, you feel me, was having problems with saying that she already deal with depression or something, and then she keep watching this for colored girls only or for whatever the fuck
That
this
shit
shit
ain't
is.
helping.
And it's so fucking sad. One of my other aunties said, hey, that's not a very good story. Like that's a powerful movie and it's a narrative. But that's something like The Passion of Christ. Your ass watched once.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once you have that experience, you don't
That's
never
it.
need to have it
Yeah.
again. That's a very emotional fucking movie. And if you are a decent person, the imagery and what they show you is gonna leave a lasting effect on you.
Right.
So like, why do you want to watch the worst version of everything that happened to you
There you go.
all the time and pour that into your spirit? And y'all is the creators of the story. Y'all say we did all this work to get all the way this high to tell our own stories. Why aren't we choosing to tell? Why the fuck are we remaking Roots?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? No, just show them the old one. It was brilliant. It was good. We don't need to remake that shit. They're not gonna not know the stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, how about just depicting us as human beings with life stories and general life problems that aren't directly connected to the color of our skin,
Right.
while being honest about the issues and challenges that do exist because of the color of our skin, and just give an honest modern take on what's going on. That's why I like shout out to people like what's the nigga Kenya my man that make Blackish. I be fucking up names, bro. You might be. I ain't good at names. But the nigga that make Blackish, the big tall gay girl that's like a lesbian, but she's super smart and she be acting and be directing shit. She be tearing it up in Hollywood. She was in Ready Player One as one of the ladies. She was a big, tall lesbian lady. Where she's like a dope ass writer in Hollywood.
I don't remember.
Man, I'm horrible with names. I don't mean to describe her in a disrespectful way, but she is a really tall lady and she's a lesbian. And she like got some strong features. You feel me? But you know what I'm saying? She's super talented. And Issa Rae, you feel me? Is so dope. That new show, Rap Shit
Yeah.
and stuff about how the city girls trying to come up and just like
Yep,
shit.
yep.
It's entertaining, bro. And it's like kind of just it's just honest. And I feel like I relate to it. I feel like it's something real. And I don't feel like it's pandering even when it's showing the not so pretty sides of our life. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an honest narrative by us. And I feel like that's important. And if we going to be telling them stories, bro, break niggas off.
Yep.
Pay them fair wage, bro.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't work for 50. You know what I'm saying?
Can't do that.
And we got to stop holding up these motherfuckers whose names just been around our community for so long just because niggas been famous for a long time, but they ain't doing shit for nobody, bro.
That just come from my elders, though. That's
Yeah.
all.
And that's it, bro, man. We gonna come back with the last, man, and that's gonna be our text message adventure. It's gonna close out the night. One more minute, bro. We be back with DJ Don gonna handle the night with a little bit of silly shit, a little bit of fun shit, a little bit of honest shit. Peace out. Yo, what up, though, man? It's the last segment of the show with me and DJ Don, baby. We back, and we about to go on some text message adventures with your boy, man. Few text messages from the ladies that listen to the show, man. We want to tap in with the ladies, see what's on y'all mind. And let's see, the two most common questions we have are, we covered the Cat Williams story. They asked about that. They asked about Taraji getting paid. We talked about that for a little bit, you feel me? And let's see. All right, here's the question. Can men handle what they put a woman through? For a topic.
So she's saying rules are reversed, basically.
It just simply say, can men handle what they put a woman through? So I'm assuming she must have not been put through something nice.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I'm gonna just from that, I'm gonna assume the narrative is you have been wrong or hurt by the man in some kind of way, mishandled, mistreated. And do you feel like men can handle the mistreatment that they give women? I'm I'm assuming that's what the question is.
Yeah.
From that basis. So what do you feel?
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. Only because when, and I'm only speaking kind of on myself.
Mm-hmm.
If I do some shit, to my wife or something, and she turn around and try to do the same shit, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna affect me how it's gonna affect her.
Mm-hmm.
Because females gonna be in their feelings before anything.
Mm-hmm.
Most guys ain't gonna be in their feelings over most shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it ain't gonna affect us as hard as it's gonna affect them.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take on it.
I feel like let's see how I want to approach this. I feel like you have no choice if you viewing it from that angle. Can you handle what a person does to you? You got to handle whatever they put you through because you choosing to be there.
Yep.
Right. So I think that is like, I don't like the narrative that pits the sexes against each other. Right.
Okay.
Because I do believe that there are a lot of things that men put up with that they shouldn't have to.
Correct.
Because I talk to a lot of guys who settle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that there are a lot of women who are disgruntled because they settle. And I hear both narratives from both sides, right? But often they're not putting up with the same thing. I think they're putting up with the same difference.
Okay.
You feel me? Like there's certain shit that, like you were saying, that you would do to a man that you're gonna think is getting back at us, but it doesn't affect us because we're okay with that. That's why we was able to do it to you.
Right.
And that what results in happening when women go is very, I feel like women have this perspective that we can't handle it because they do things that are reactive, right? We might do something and commit some kind of hurt to them and it affects them. So a woman needs you to feel what she feels.
Right. Yeah.
To feel either justified so they can move on from it, so they feel equal in that.
Right.
Or if they don't want to move forward with the relationship, they need to have the resolution to know that you felt what they felt so they can feel like some kind of justification to move on from it, right? The problem with that is if you do the exact same thing, what happens when you don't get the reaction that satisfies you, right? You have to now go, okay, that didn't hurt you, but I know it will. The I know it will part is what fucks bitches up. Yep. Because now you ain't doing what I did. You're equaling the pain that you felt by causing something that you feel like will agitate me the equal amount of the hurt that you're experiencing.
Yep.
So you're not doing what I'm doing. You're hurting me the way that you are hurt. So just speak on that and just say you want to hurt me the way I hurt you.
Right.
Because a lot of times you ain't going to do what I did. You going to do some shit that you know is going to hurt me as much as I hurt you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes not even one up. Sometimes they know if they do something that ain't going to affect you. Sometimes a bitch cheating back ain't going to make you mad.
Right.
Because you know you done did so much shit. But not allowing you to see your kid going to hurt you and cause you to scream and yell just as much as that naked picture of that girl made me scream and yell.
Right.
Right? So now we're even.
Yeah.
That's not okay for me. So a lot of women think, I hear a lot of women, you can't take what I can take and stuff like that. I feel like that's sometimes going to that realm.
Mm-hmm.
And if you so reactive to where another person shouldn't, I don't like that match energy as conversation.
I got
right?
you. I'm same way.
Because you allowing somebody to control your character.
Right.
I would rather, now this I will say in defense of men, since the lady did ask this out, I do know that a lot more men leave women and start over with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they pride themselves in it, right? But I find it hard that a woman will tell a man that he doesn't have value and he's not good, but she will take from him things of value to make yourself valuable.
Right.
Right? So like a nigga's a piece of shit, but you want this piece of shit's money so you can be a boss.
Right.
You want that alimony check, you want this, you want that. I think a lot of men, even the ones that make less than their wife, I got divorced from a woman that was a doctor. I could have gotten alimony. She made more than me. All of our relationship. Not a bitch ass nigga. I want you to go off and have the best life that you can have. You're a good woman, you just not the right good woman for me. I'm a good man, I'm just not the right good man for you.
Right.
I want a positive life, I want you to have a positive life. How many girls do you know have positive things to say about their ex?
None.
So I do think that men can handle what women put them through. I do not think that certain men can recover from certain things
Right.
that women put them through. And I do think that there are certain things that a man can do to a woman that she cannot recover from.
Yeah.
So that's my answer to can men handle what they put women through? And let me see. I'm gonna throw out what my response what I wrote back in the text message just to see what y'all feel about it. I says, I also this is a good point that I made. Forgot that I be making some smart ass points. You know what I'm saying? It'd be amazing myself. You did, but hey, I learned that everybody is not a territory or possession that needs protecting. And the art of disconnecting allows you to the opportunity to understand that people aren't possessions; they're experiences that you share with them. Some last longer than others, some are more reoccurring than others. But it's your job to make sure that they're as positive as possible, and it's your job to do the best to learn from the ones that aren't. You know what I'm saying? And that you do that to build yourself into a person worthy of having better experiences. And I think as long as you understand that even outside of just romantic relationships, we all are looking for love and validation, you feel me? So if you learn how to find that within yourself, you ain't got to find it within another person. So it doesn't matter how a person treats you. As soon as you identify that they're not treating you with the value that you have already assigned to yourself, another person can't devalue you. Because you will immediately recognize, oh, you fucking up.
Right.
Because I'm worth too much for this. And then you create a boundary that they can't cross no more. So stop thinking of like somebody putting you through something. Nobody's forcing you to be put through shit. You accepting something.
Mm-hmm.
And when you decide that you don't want to accept that shit no more, you ain't got to be put through nothing by nobody. And when you identify, like, I don't want to have this experience no more. I don't like the way this person's treating me. I don't like what's going on with this person. This person started out nice, but now I'm growing apart. I don't want to have this experience no more. And realize that it's okay. It don't devalue you or make you less worthy because you move away from that experience and start a new one with somebody else and use that to learn from. You ain't got to flip out. So, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Don't let nobody put you through shit. You know what I'm saying? Stop making yourself a habitual victim. Start wising up and choose different people. And if you fuck up and make a mistake, own it. Use that information to recognize better people and make a new decision. And that's how we gonna close the show off. You feel me?
Man, you need to write a book off that shit, man. You gonna make a killing, goddammit.
All right. Hey, one love, you know what I'm saying? That's our text message adventure. Keep writing in, you know the number. You could DM me if you got stories, if you got topics that you want to hear about, if you want to hear our perspective. You're going to see a lot more of me and just DJ Don kicking it with the hot topics, bro. Thanks for kicking it with us today. It's another episode of the Howling Wolf, my baby. And, fuck with me. Hey, and before I get out of here, bro, shout out to my man Free 20. We do have a new podcast coming out, Open Minds. And we are starting off a new Instagram page, brand new. So get over there and give me some followers because the shit looking pitiful right now. Just started it today. It's under Uncle, Cousin, Brother Chris. You feel me? Everything that a nigga is to you that you need him to be, I am, motherfucker. So follow me. Holla at me. Peace out.